All right, now to that story we've been telling you about. Tonight we're learning a Kokomo woman with a history of animal torture will spend additional time in jail.
Yeah, the details are tough to hear. Krystal Scott was caught neglecting more than a dozen animals just months after leaving federal prison for similar crimes. Our Ashton Hackman had his camera in the courtroom today as Scott learned her sentence.
Krystal Scott's attorneys pointed to a troubled childhood as a possible explanation as to what happened, while prosecutors said that the actions were disturbing and that Krystal Scott ultimately needs to spend additional time in jail.
25-year-old Krystal Scott pleaded guilty in May to felony animal cruelty. Last June, Scott claimed lost pets as her own before police tracked down a rented U-Haul. Inside, officers found 10 dogs and 3 cats. All were considered severely dehydrated. They also found the skins of multiple animals.
I think it's just important for the court to understand the impact that this has had on the community and that people care about these animals and are concerned about recidivism of Ms. Scott.
Scott was already on federal probation after her 2021 conviction for creating animal crushing videos. She was banned from having any animals. In August, a judge sentenced her to 18 months in prison for violating that probation.
Unfortunately, I think this case is a case that the media got a hold of and it kind of blew everything out of the water.
Scott did not speak at her hearing. The judge had this to say.
Behavior has to change, and my hope is through mental health treatment at the federal prison, as well as on federal probation, that you really work on this and get to the root of it, because you're young, you can still be a successful citizen, do the right thing, and work, and have a happy life, but you're going to have to change that.
Scott is once again banned from having any animals.
With this sentence, Krystal Scott has an additional 33 days to spend here at the Marion County Jail before she goes back to federal prison, where she has another 11 months to her sentence. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
All right, Ashton, thank you. After finishing her prison time, Scott will be on supervised release. Her attorney says she'll move back to Indiana to complete a 3-year volunteer program.